Let's talk politics. Let's talk elections. Let's talk the 1st of November. It's not very far to go, is it? The ANC suspending all branches, regional and provincial conferences to focus on the upcoming local government elections. This, as the party, though, is facing several changes, and it's quite a list, isn't it? We know, of course, about the employee issues, not being able to pay them, owing SARS millions of rand, and the list keeps on going. Yesterday, just to remind you, ANC members from various branches actually gathering outside the headquarters at Electoral House to protest over candidate nominations. Let's get the thoughts of political analyst Professor Barry Hanyane from the Northwest University. Prof, hello, always good to speak to you. It's a bit of a mess for the ANC, isn't it?
Good morning. Good morning to your viewers. It really is, and I think it's out of their own making. This is an own goal. It's been coming. We know for a fact that Electoral House somewhat displayed inefficiencies when it comes to own administration. And indeed, the implosion has come to bear.
Well, it's going to be leaving a lot of people asking questions. If the ANC cannot even handle its own finances, it cannot handle its own administration, it cannot even get its own staff, who are now threatening not to vote for the ANC if they don't get paid. We'll get onto that issue in a moment. It's going to raise the question of why should the country continue to trust them?
It's simple. Luckily, we were in a democratic space where not only one party holds monopoly on issues of governance. So you'll always have opposition trying to keep tabs of developments on the ground, playing oversight role. And then, of course, you have your government and as well as parliamentary structures playing much the same. In a decentralized system, by the way, you have national, you have provincial, you have local. Here we are today trying to put sense into what do we make of the local government sphere. Are we going to put in place new councillors who will bring in fresh ideas? Are we worried about corruption at that level? Are we worried about the management of public resources? All these questions will have to come to bear. And of course, residents are given a chance here to exercise their right to universal franchise.
Is there anything, Prof, that you think the ANC can do between today and the 1st of November to try and convince the electorate?
Gareth, so much problems in the ANC. Let's first start with the welfare of its own officials. Whether this is Electoral House or at branch level, there's problems there. But more so, how do you run a successful campaign when the foot soldiers are not content and happy and are able to deliver on their mandate? And going forward, here's a party that for some reason they can't shrug away the issue of factionalism. Whether it's at provincial level, whether it's at national level, there's issues there. So it's a party that is unfortunately having to deal with so many battles on all fronts, and it's going to be tough going forward to normalize relations within and outside of its rank and file spaces.
Prof, if you were to pick one political party that's sitting back and watching this mess that we're now talking about with the ANC, is there one political party that's going to benefit the most, do you think, out of this?
Gareth, I think it's multi-pronged. There's a number of stakeholders. I'm taken aback by the emergence and perhaps prominence of independent candidates. My bet is that perhaps it's high time we keep watch on that. But at the same time, something is telling me the trajectory of coalition governance post-2016 is likely to accelerate, and that means fewer parties will enjoy the old possibility of outright governance and have monopoly over there. So that's one thing to watch. So bottom line is that opposition parties have a lot to gain. And let's not forget that pending decision from the Constitutional Court. If it does not favor the ANC, then it's the foregone conclusion. Opposition parties are going to be smiling come the 1st of November.
Why do you think the ANC is so bad at handling their election administration side of things? We all knew the election was coming, whether it was going to be late October or latest February next year. It just seems they didn't plan.
Gareth, at the heart of it all, I suspect, is the lack of political will to modernize. Let's ask several questions here. Is the ANC a party of choice in terms of responding to 21st century demands? Are they using technology? Here we are. If we're to compare how they handle staff matters, right, or employee relations, the DA versus the ANC, something is telling me that the DA might trump the ANC in this instance. Are they paying pension funds? Are they paying UIF? Are the ANC employees happy? All of these questions are central in terms of measuring whether the party is growing and growing in sync with in-time demands. 21st century, 2021, are branches operating fully? Are they paying their rent where they're not owning property? Is the membership list kept abreast at all times? Are they fulfilling their mandate as a party? These questions, unfortunately, seems to be somewhat of a battleground for the ANC internally. What more about managing external affairs?
Perhaps let me leave you with this as my final question, Prof. I'm thoroughly enjoying this discussion. We'll always talk about, won't we, the historical voter of the ANC. We'll vote ANC because my father voted ANC, etc., etc. Do you think that's going to change in these elections? Last question to you.
Geopolitically, I'm of the assumption that the traditional conservative support base of the ANC, your rural, your peri-urban sites, will continue to enjoy as much as it was the case in the past, but I think there is a voter shift in urban areas, more so now that voters are spoiled for choice. You have your incoming Action SA, you also have the party from the far left, your EFF. So people are spoiled for choice. You also have candidates, you also have your small parties right at the corner there. We saw in the Northwest, in the province where I am, Gauteng Civic Association wanting to rise to the occasion and say, we can compete in the political space as well. So let's see where this competition lies. But bottom line is that it seems as though the support base of the ANC is being challenged.
And I'm sure we're going to speak again. Prof. Barry Hanyane, political analyst from Northwest University. Wonderful insight as to what's going to be potentially the outlook for the ANC and what they can do between now and the 1st of November to try and garner more of those votes. Is it too late? Well, we're going to have to wait and see.